Good afternoon everyone, London Buses C64 back with another video. Today's video is going to be about the Silvertown Tunnel. Today's date is Friday the 4th of April and next Monday the 7th of April is the day of the Silvertown Tunnel opening. Anyways, let's get into this. The new Silvertown Tunnel, planned to open on 7th April 2025, will link Silvertown to the Greenwich Peninsula in East London. Modelling shows it will help to reduce congestion at the Blackwall Tunnel, deliver faster journeys during peak times, help manage overall air quality, and allow for better cross-river public transport. To deliver these benefits, charges will apply to both the Silvertown and Blackwall tunnels. Without the charges, traffic would increase in both tunnels, causing delays and congestion, which contribute to poor air quality. The user charge is designed to manage levels of traffic using the tunnels. It will also pay for the construction and ongoing maintenance and operation of the scheme. A package of concessions, discounts and exemptions will be available to support Londoners, small businesses and charities. About the Silvertown Tunnel. The new 1.4 km road tunnel with dedicated bus lanes was first proposed in 2012 and plans were approved by the Secretary of State for Transport in 2018. Plans also include improvements for walking and cycling around the tunnel entrances, part of major regeneration on both sides of the river. On this page you'll see a photo below of the route proposal map for Silvertown Tunnel. I'll give you a few minutes to have a look at that. Okay, I'm going to move on. Why a new tunnel? The Victorian-era Blackwall Tunnel was never designed for the levels of traffic that now need to cross the river. Incidents with larger unsuitable vehicles frequently cause delays and closures. Idling traffic builds up, often leading to tailbacks of several miles in just a few minutes. This increases journey times, as drivers either queue in traffic or choose longer routes to avoid the tunnel. It also has a negative impact on air quality. When Silvertown Tunnel opens, it will help reduce congestion, delays and queues, making peak time journeys faster and more reliable, with journey savings expected to be up to 20 minutes. This is based on model data compared to a non-Silvertown scenario. Today, around 1 million hours are lost each year to queuing because of Blackwall Tunnel closures. Offer more opportunities to cross the river by public transport with an initial network of 21 zero-emission buses an hour in each direction at the busiest times between 7 AM and 7 PM Monday to Friday, offering new routes and better access to more places, jobs and opportunities. The new network will operate from tunnel opening and to boost use of these services and support local people on the 3 Cross River bus routes. TfL are offering free pay-as-you-go fares on buses for at least 1 year. Pay-as-you-go fares on DLR journeys between and including Cutty Sark to Island Gardens and Woolwich Arsenal to King George V will be refunded. Open up access to new markets on both sides of the river for businesses. This will allow them to reach clients and jobs more quickly and within a reliable journey time. It will also help drive job growth in East London. Small businesses and charities within the boroughs of Newham, Greenwich and Tower Hamlets may be eligible for tunnel user charge discounts for at least 1 year. More information on how to register will be available from early 2025. Help manage the air quality impacts of traffic congestion on some of London's most polluted roads based on modelled data. TfL have been monitoring air quality for the past 3 years across 5 London boroughs. TfL will continue to monitor for at least 3 years after the tunnels open. This is to make sure the tunnel user charge levels are working and the project meets its objectives. Improve the resilience of the road network. while offering an alternative crossing when the Blackwall Tunnel is closed, which could be around 700 times a year. Offer a new cross-river cycle shuttle only for cyclists. This service will offer a safe and quick way for cyclists to cross the river using the Silvertown Tunnel. The cycle shuttle service will carry a range of cycle types. TfL plans to operate a high-frequency point-to-point service. TfL are committed to it for at least 3 years, and the service will be free for at least 1 year. How it's being done? Riverlinks Consortium won the bid to design, build, finance and maintain the Silvertown Tunnel after a competitive procurement process. The vast majority of the funding to build a new crossing was raised by the consortium through private finance. Once open, TfL will then repay the costs through regular availability payments linked to operational performance. The contract has been published as part of the commitment to transparency. There is a link on that fourth bullet point which will be attached in the description below. Construction of the scheme has followed the Silvertown Tunnel Code of Construction Practice, and Riverlinks are also Considerate Construction Scheme CCS accredited. There's 2 links in that last bullet point which will also be attached in the description. Here are some pictures of what the Silvertown Tunnel will look like. I'm sure some people may have heard about the Silvertown Tunnel all over social media and probably on news stations as well. Apologies for my dodgy writing on the slides. Tunnel user charges consultation. To consider the views of the public closer to the tunnel opening, TfL held an 8-week consultation from 10th July to 3rd of September 2024, receiving over 5,300 responses. Consultation responses were analysed and recommendations made to the TfL board on the user charge levels, discounts and exemptions. On 4th December 2024, the TfL board confirmed the initial opening charges that will apply from next 7th of April 2025, which is next Monday. For full details of the Silvertown and Blackwall Tunnel user charges consultation, visit the TfL Have Your Say page, and I will attach that link in the description below. This includes the consultation report setting out findings and responses to the issues raised. The tunnel charges exist to help manage traffic levels across both tunnels, repay costs for building the new Silvertown Tunnel and its ongoing maintenance and operation. Once the Silvertown Tunnel opens, charges will apply to both the Blackwall Tunnel and the new Silvertown Tunnel. If you drive through either tunnel, you will need to pay each time you cross unless you or your vehicle are exempt from paying the charge. Charges will apply from 6 AM to 10 PM, 7 days a week in both directions. The tunnel will be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For customers registered for auto-pay, off-peak rates will apply most of the time, including weekends. A peak charge will apply during the busiest times, 6 AM to 10 AM northbound and 4 PM to 7 PM southbound on weekdays only. The tunnels will be free to use on Christmas Day. Charges will not apply until the Silvertown Tunnel opens, planned to be on 7th April 2025. After that, if you drive through either tunnel during charging times, you will have until midnight or on the 3rd day after your journey to pay. If you don't pay on time, you will risk getting a penalty charge notice, PCN. PCN for non-payment is £180, reduced to £90 if paid within 2 weeks. The easiest way to pay will be through auto-pay. Silvertown Tunnel and Blackwall Tunnels charge. These charges will apply from 6 AM to 10 PM. No charges will apply for any vehicle between 10 PM and 6 AM. So on the screen is just a table showing the peak charges for specific days for the vehicle types. I'll give you a few minutes to have a look at that. Moving on. Concessions, discounts and exemptions. To support residents and businesses and encourage people to use the new public transport connections, there will be a package of concessions, discounts and exemptions once the Silvertown Tunnel opens. These include bus concessions for local residents. For at least 12 months on the tunnel opening, local residents will benefit from free pay-as-you-go fares on the new Cross River bus routes serving Greenwich, Newham and Tower Hamlets. These routes include the new Superloop SL4 and Route 129, which will go through the Silvertown Tunnel, and Route 108 through the Blackwall Tunnel. PAYGO customers can start and end their journeys at any point along the bus route, and all customers must continue to touch in as they board the bus. DLR concessions for local residents. For at least 12 months on the tunnel opening, customers using pay-as-you-go fares for journeys between and including the following station pairs will have their fares refunded: Cutty Sark to Island Gardens and Woolwich Arsenal to King George V. Residents on certain low-income benefits. A 50% discount on tunnel charges will be available to drivers on certain benefits living in Barking and Dagenham, Bexley, Bromley, City of London, Greenwich, Hackney, Havering, Lewisham, Newham, Redbridge, Southwark, Tower Hamlets and Waltham Forest. The eligible benefits are income support, income-related employment and support allowance, income-based job seekers allowance, universal credit, pension credit, child tax credit, working tax credit, carers allowance, housing benefit. This discount would be for a period of at least 3 years from 7th April 2025. More information on how to register will be available from early 2025, so I'm pretty sure that's available right now. Discounts for small businesses and charities. Small businesses, sole traders and charities will be eligible for a £1 discount on the off-peak charge on a maximum of 3 vehicles for at least 12 months on the tunnel opening. The off-peak charge is only accessible for vehicles registered with TfL and AutoPay. The business, charity or sole trader must be registered and operate from an address within one of the boroughs of Greenwich, Newham or Tower Hamlets. Exemptions and other discounts. There will be no charge at any time for vehicles with a disabled tax class. Tax is licensed by TfL. Zero emission capable and wheelchair accessible private hire vehicles licensed by TfL when carrying out a booking. DVLA registered minibuses, buses and coaches. A 100% discount on tunnel charges will also apply to vehicles registered for the existing congestion charge discounts for blue badge holders, roadside recovery vehicles and accredited breakdown vehicles. Looking ahead to tunnel opening, the Silvertown Tunnel is on track for its planned opening on 7th April 2025. The focus until then will be on completing the internal works on the portal buildings, testing and commissioning tunnel systems, installing lighting and handing over land that has been used temporarily for construction. To support the tunnel opening, roads will be prepared and vehicles and infrastructure for the new Cross River bus network and cycle shuttle service, as well as implementing the highway changes needed before the tunnel opens. TfL will continue to monitor and report on traffic air quality and the scheme's impact on residents and businesses. The most recent air quality baseline report has now been published. Highways. A review and update to the traffic modelling work found 14 locations needing mitigations before the Silvertown Tunnel opens. This reflects any changes since the DCO was granted. These mitigations were discussed and agreed with Silvertown Tunnel Implementation Group members and then reviewed and approved by the Secretary of State for Transport. The works are to prepare local roads for the tunnel opening. The traffic mitigation map shows the locations of the 14 locations that need mitigation measures. The necessary mitigations at 11 of these sites consist of signal timing revisions. Physical mitigation works were planned at 3 locations. Bow Roundabout. Works are ongoing and will be completed by February 2025, so I'm sure that's completed by now. Preston's Road Roundabout. Work started in autumn 2024 and will be complete by January 2025, so I'm sure that's already completed. A13 A102 northbound junction near Cotton Street. Works are complete. All physical mitigation works will be completed by spring 2025 and signal timing changes will be made in real time when the tunnel opens. These mitigations aim to prevent adverse impacts on local communities when the tunnel opens. After the tunnel opens, TfL will continue to monitor the impacts on highways and air quality for at least 3 years and will do more mitigation work if needed. Read about monitoring work on understanding the impact of Silvertown Tunnel page. All the links in this PowerPoint will be attached in the video description below. Zero-emission bus routes 108, 129 and Superloop SL4. The Silvertown Tunnel will transform how residents in East and South East London will be able to cross the river by bus for work, education and leisure. Today, only the 108 bus crosses the river from North Greenwich via the Blackwall Tunnel, and no double-deck buses cross the river between Tower Bridge and the Dartford crossing. Once the Silvertown Tunnel opens, in addition to Route 108 via the Blackwall Tunnel, a new route, Superloop SL4, will run through the new tunnel from Grove Park to Canary Wharf. Also, a route extension, Route 129, will run from Lewisham to London City Airport and Great Eastern Quay. In total, the 3 routes will offer a new East London Cross River network of 21 zero-emission buses in each direction in the busiest times between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday. This extended network, up from 6 buses per hour, will offer better access to town centres, jobs and education. TfL will track demand for bus services once the Silvertown Tunnel is opened. Unlike other types of public transport, the bus network is highly flexible, and if demand for services increases, TfL can respond quickly. See the map of bus routes below, or visit the Improving Buses page to learn more about cleaner, greener buses. Silvertown Tunnel Cycle Shuttle. A new cycle shuttle service will offer a safe and quick way for cyclists to cross the river using the Silvertown Tunnel. Cycling is not allowed in the Silvertown Tunnel for safety reasons. Instead, TfL will provide a high-frequency shuttle service. Cyclists will be able to turn up and go without checking a timetable first. The final route and 2 stopping locations are now confirmed. Cyclists will board the bus with their cycles at stops on either side of the river to be taken through the Silvertown Tunnel. In Newham, the North Stop location will be located on Seagull Lane, close to Royal Victoria DLR station. In Greenwich, the South Stop will be located on Millennium Way, near the junction with Old School Close. The service will have a unique look to distinguish it from the regular bus network. More details will be reviewed this year. Maps of local cycle routes will be on display at the branded stops and shelters. This is to help with journey planning and encourage more journeys by cycle. Plans have been developed using feedback from the Silvertown Tunnel Cycling Consultation. Read the final Cross River Cycling Consultation report for more information. Here are some pictures of what the Silvertown Tunnel Cycle Shuttle service will look like and how it's going to be introduced. Related content. Learn the impacts of Silvertown Tunnel on local communities both before and after the tunnel opened. Read about the Silvertown Tunnel Implementation Group that includes representatives from 12 London boroughs, the GLA and National Highways. Check the large archive of the Silvertown Tunnel documents related to previous consultations, planning conditions, general vesting declarations and development consent order. Thank you for listening in today's presentation about the Silvertown Tunnel. The Silvertown Tunnel is planned to open on 7th of April 2025, which means there is a new route SL4 being introduced. Thank you for watching in today's video. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.